Hello students, it's me, Mrs. Burns. Today I'm going to show you how to use bilateral symmetry to make a creature. Let's first look at the supplies we'll need. For this project you will need some simple materials. You will need crayons or markers. You'll need either a black crayon or a black marker. You will need scissors. You will need glue, and you can either use a glue stick or regular school glue. You will also need some paper for this project. You will need one piece of white paper, and you'll need another piece of a paper that has a color. You can just take a white piece of paper and color it in, like I colored this one in blue, or maybe you have some colorful paper, or maybe you have like an old copy or handout. You can use the back of that, or you can just use some newspaper or even a magazine paper for this project. The very first step of this project is to take your piece of plain white paper and fold it in half the vertical way. Sometimes classroom teachers say hot dog or hamburger. So this would be the hot dog way. It's the vertical way, it's nice and tall. So just fold it in half like that. Have a nice crease in the center, and it's folded in half. Keep the folded side here, and then with either a black marker or a black crayon, let's draw half a creature. So start towards the top of your paper and just have fun making some interesting kind of lines. Try not to make them too tricky because you don't want it to be too hard to cut out. And just make sure you go starting at this side of the paper and then stop at the same side of the paper but at the bottom. And don't cut off this folded part. What we want to do is just cut along this line. So that's what I'm going to do now. Once you have your shape that you drew cut out, you can either recycle these scraps or throw them out because you won't need them anymore, and you won't need your scissors anymore either. But now you can take this and unfold it, and you can see that you have made something symmetrical. There's a line of symmetry right here, and it is the same on both sides, and this is the shape we'll use to create our creature. Now that we have our shape cut out, we're going to need some glue and that contrasting piece of paper, and I'm going to use this newspaper. I think that's kind of a fun idea. So all you have to do is put a very small amount of glue onto the piece that you cut out. If you're going to use this white school glue, little dots. Don't overdo it, just a little bit. Or you can use a glue stick and the same, just a little bit here and there. And glue it onto your paper. And you see, by gluing it onto a different color paper, a different kind of paper, really makes that shape stand out, and that's gonna look great. The next step is to take either a black marker or a black crayon, and we're gonna just outline our whole shape to really make it stand out. Now everything is outlined and it's really showing up great on that paper. This is the fun part. Now you can start to add the details that you think might look fun on an imaginary creature. Once you're done adding in the details on your creature, you won't really need the black crayon or marker anymore, but now you can switch to the rest of your colors, and if you want, you can start coloring in some of the details just to make it look a little more lively and interesting. I hope the way you like your creature is starting to look. There's one last step that I think will really be a nice finishing touch for this project. We're going to continue to use our crayons, and you can use all the same color or you can change up the colors for this last step. But the last thing we're going to be doing is just drawing some contour lines around the whole shape of our creature. And I think on this newspaper background that I'm using, a dark color crayons are probably going to look better than light colored crayons. So I'm just tracing around my creature all the way around. I just kept adding lines around and around my creature until I ran out of space, and I think it gives it a really fun finishing touch. I hope you like the way your creature came out, and for fun you can even make more than one if you want. Here's a couple examples of some of the other ones that I made using markers and different kinds of paper. I'd love to see how yours turn out, so please think about sharing it with me, and I hope you like doing this activity, and I'll see you next time.